What's up guys, Justin with AmericanTrucks.com, and today I'm checking out the Pypes Race Pro single exhaust system with the included black tips, available for your 2015 through 2025 liter powered F-150 at home. Now you should be checking out this system if you're looking for, I would say, one of the deeper sounding catbacks available for your Coyote powered truck. You prefer an affordable full stainless build, and you really dig that cool side exit configuration. So as I just mentioned guys, this system from Pypes delivers a really deep tone overall, which, let's face it, is not always the easiest thing to accomplish with the notoriously raspy Coyote engine. But what about the overall volume? Well, going to my wake to neighbor scale, I have the Pypes Race Pro coming in at a pretty solid 4 out of 5 here guys on my 1 to 5 or 1 wake to neighbor scale. Now, because this system does delete the factory resonator and it is going to incorporate the straight through Race Pro muffler, you are getting a pretty aggressive tone overall. Now, inside the truck, on the other hand, things remain, I would say, relatively quiet overall. Maybe not as quiet as some of your more aggressive boreless systems or courses systems, but considering the layout, it's still very livable, only with moderate sound noticeable cruising at 60 miles an hour. Moving into construction, and there's a lot to like about the American-made Race Pro from Pypes. Now for starters guys, you're looking at a 100% stainless steel build, 409 grade stainless to be exact, and that is going to be excellent at resisting corrosion long term. Now that 409 grade material can be found in things like the 3-inch mandrel bent tubing, the straight through perforated tube Race Pro muffler, and then finally everything's going to exit out of the twin 4.5-inch tips in the stealthy black powder coat. Now those tips again are going to exit just in front of that passenger side rear tire, and that's going to deliver that very cool side exit configuration that has been very popular as of late. Moving into pricing, and Pypes is here to prove that you don't have to spend $1,000 to get a full stainless, awesome sounding system. In fact, at the mid $500 price point, I would say this is extremely reasonable. Now this system, along with MBRP's XP side exit system, will be your two, I would say, most affordable options that are going to deliver this configuration, that side exit look, along with a full 409 grade stainless build. Now I will say that if you are possibly on the fence between this or the MBRP, the Pypes is going to be a bit louder at the end of the day while also delivering a slightly deeper tone. But again, both systems are available here on the site for a pretty killer price overall. Moving into the install, and site's going to call this a very strong 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, maybe a couple of hours to get in place from start to finish. But now what do you say we head out to the shop for our detailed walkthrough and quick tool breakdown.
The tools you'll need for this project is some spray lubricant, a 13mm socket, a 14mm socket, a 15mm socket in impact style with an impact gun, a 14mm wrench, a hanger removal tool, a deburring tool, a soft rag if you're using a pole jack, a pry bar, and some sort of cutting device, whether it be a sawzall or a chop saw, so that you can adjust the size of the pipe. Hi everyone, today we're installing an exhaust on our F-150, but before we do that, let's watch a short video on how to uninstall the stock system, and we'll see you back here when you're done.
So first step here for our install, we're gonna grab our 13mm socket on the U-joint. We're gonna loosen up the flange up near our catalytic converters, and that will basically let our exhaust sit in the exhaust hanger isolator. So at that point, all we're gonna do is lubricate them, slide the whole thing back, and since we're on a lift, we'll be able to pull the whole exhaust out in one piece. Now, if you are working on the ground, you won't have as much room as I do. You might have to make a couple cuts to get this out, but it's just as simple as that. So this one is a little bit tough to get to, but it should come right out. And same thing goes with this one. The U-joint here is almost a must if you want to use the impact. If you're using a ratchet, it should clear no problem. So now our exhaust is loose at the front. We just need to lubricate these rubber hanger isolators so we can slide our exhaust back and out For that, I'm gonna use PB Blaster here. You could use white lithium grease. As you can see, this one has had on it before. So we're just gonna give this a shot here on both sides. So now we can take our exhaust hanger removal tool and we're just gonna work that out. So now we have 2 more hangers supporting our exhaust, and all we're gonna do for this one right above our muffler is grease it up. For now, you can see it doesn't have that barb at the end, so we're gonna leave this in just to support our exhaust. We're gonna grease up the other one, and then we can slide this whole thing back. So this last one here, right on our tailpipe, again, we're just gonna hit it with some PB Blaster. And again, this doesn't have the barb on it either. So now we should be good to push this whole exhaust back and pull it off of our truck.
All right, so this particular exhaust system is designed for multiple configurations of your truck. Ours happens to be a crew cab with a 5.5 foot bed. Yours may be different, so you'll have to adjust for that. But for our case, what we need to do is remove 10.5 inches from the rear of this pipe so that it will fit our configuration. So let's go ahead and measure that and get it cut. So after you make your cut, you'll notice that there's going to be some rough edges on your pipe. So we're going to use a deburring tool to clean that up so that it'll fit properly when we go to put it on. So the next thing we're going to do is move this hanger from its current location, move it forward to an alternate site so that we can use the hangers on the new system to hang the pipes. We're going to use our 10mm socket to pull that out, and then we'll use a flathead screwdriver to remove the spring clips. So we're just going to move these to this location here. So you notice when you get this kit, there are a couple different styles of hangers. The one that we need for ours looks like this. So we're going to install this using the supplied spring clip and supplied hardware right here on the frame, just above the front of the spring perch. And now we'll tighten it down with our 13mm socket. Now we can go ahead and install our front pipe now that we've got it trimmed to length. So now we're just going to snug this up using our 14mm socket and our 14mm wrench. Now we can slip our clamp over our muffler and install that onto our front pipe. And we want to snug this up with our 15mm socket so that it doesn't fall off while we install the rest of it. Now because we're on a lift, we're going to use a pole jack to help support our exhaust while we install the tailpipe. We're going to put a rag right on top of it just to prevent scratching from the polished surface. And then we can go ahead and adjust the height. All right, so now we're ready to hang up our tailpipe in this hanger and in this hanger. And because of the angle on our rear hanger, you might want to put some spray lubricant on the rubber hangers first to help ease installation. Now you'll find it easier to put the rear one in first. Then we'll slide our clamp over the tailpipe and slide it into the front hanger and then into the muffler. Now we can snug up this clamp using our 15mm socket while we install the tips. Now you'll notice that our muffler is actually at an angle, and that's just to give us clearance underneath the truck. One tip that I like to give out is because of the fact that we've got running boards on our truck, access to the bolt for the clamp on the tip is a little tight. So I recommend doing a test fit first, using a piece of tape to mark the spot where you want it, and then removing the exhaust splitter and tighten the clamps up off the truck. Then we can put it back on and tighten the clamp down. Now we can tighten the clamps down using our 15mm socket. Now we can slide our clamp over our splitter and install it onto the tailpipe. And we'll snug that up using our 15mm socket. Now that we've got the whole system installed and snugged up, we can go through and make our final adjustments, make sure everything is where we want it, and then we'll tighten everything up using our 15mm socket and our 14mm socket and 14mm wrench on the front pipe. And that wraps up our review and install of the Pypes Race Pro Single Exhaust System with black tips with the middle side exit for the 15 to 20 5-liter F-150. Thanks for watching, and remember, for everything F-150, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.